You know, it didn't seem like it was gonna be too much. Like I liked the premise of the story, but I didn't think it was gonna be like this. Earthchild is definitely one of those ones.
Bro, first chapter, we're getting thrown into this whirlwind of love and
Yes.
telekinesis and mind wiping and the
And
power of love.
this could have been its own manga. This could have been its own story.
Oh, that first chapter could have easily been its own little thing. And like, you get this. I'll say this. When you first start reading it, you don't think it's gonna take as serious of a turn that it does.
Yes.
And I think that's what I really enjoy about it. Like there kept being moments where I'm like, okay, they can make this. This can go really goofy. This can be really,
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? Like there's so many different. Like as you're reading it, you're like, okay. Before you turn to the next page, you're like, there's many directions this thing can go. And
Mm-hmm.
by the time you're finishing this story, you see this man holding this child crying over his dead wife, and it's like you're kind of left stuck of just like holy oh shit, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
you get actual like real emotion drawn out of you from reading it. And then and I even said this before. I said the second chapter is going to be the most important chapter for them after following up that first chapter, because obviously that first chapter it was really kind of laying down like the backstory. And
Yes.
I'm just like, so there's two ways the second chapter is gonna go. We're either gonna go right into like the future and the kid is already grown up and like, we're gonna see this kid, or they're gonna continue on from where they were. And obviously in the second chapter, you see that they just kind of just pick up the story where they left off in the first chapter, which bold decision,
Bold,
very
but
bold,
I think it's gonna pay
very
off
bold
very
decision.
well.
It's gonna pay off like a motherfucker. So it's gonna pay off like a motherfucker. I was like, because in my head, I'm like, oh, they have to jump. Like, I was like,
Yes.
we have to automatically jump into seeing this kid grow up, like
Yes.
grown
But
and like
but
this
here's
guy's
the
version of
thing.
this kid.
Now that I don't mean to cut you off, man, but now that we've had it set up like that, you know, we have this point in opportunity where we don't have to jump directly into the kid and all of his powers right away. We can sit and focus on him as a character because this is his story. You know what I'm saying? That's his kid. So we still have to follow him for a little bit. You know, what are his decisions as a father? You know what I'm saying? Like, does he really want his kid to go through all of this? What are the pressures of being a kid and having to live up to all of these expectations? And you put that pressure on your kid. And like, we have to follow him as a character in all of his trials and tribulations and then see the reward at the end with the kid. I think that in it of itself, because of the direction from just these two chapters, dog, is going to be an amazing story.
But also, what I like about it though is that the the group that controls the Earth Children, the group that's
Mm-hmm.
like they're the one that weaponizes these Earth kids. I like how they're kind of set up to seem like they're not really the good guy, but they're not really the bad guy. And you know what I'm saying? They're kind of
Yeah.
like this, they're not, they're kind of like this neutral entity.
Yeah.
But you see how like some of their ways are kind of fucked up. How they're just like,
Yeah.
listen, they use the Earth Childs as weapons, and that's what they're meant for. And it's they're doing that though because they're like, instead of just letting these guys walk around willy nilly and walk around the world, and we have to be able to control them because it's not like they come every, you know what I'm saying? We
They
let
are
them walk
very
around.
rare.
Yeah, they're a rare thing, and so I like how they kind of set the standard of it's not like a really necessary evil type of thing, but they have a purpose,
Yeah.
and they're like, yo, listen, your kid's are Earth Child, ain't it? Like, it gotta come with us because
Mm-hmm.
this is how it is. But then you see to grow, you see that the child and the dad and the connection between they have and the dad has the connection between the dad has with the child, and it grows into something more where you kind of get this story of like, nah, this is like a story about a man really like loving his kid. It really just went like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I like how the power thing starts slowly taking a back seat, and it really turns into like a real story of like, man, he don't care if his
Right.
kid has powers or not. He just wanted to be with his kid.
Exactly.
And so man, listen, what they're doing right now, 2 chapters in, their child's looking special.
Yeah, man. I really believe if you haven't read Earthchild, go read Earthchild. You are doing yourself a disservice right now. Like that is definitely one of those ones.